Alright, hello everyone. Today we are starting our first official stream, I think. I'm going to start uploading as many streams as I can to YouTube until I start streaming on YouTube, and then I'll probably just stream there. It's easier than streaming on Twitch and then uploading a whole file. So today we are going to set up a flight from, we are in Sugarland, Houston down here, and we're going to go to New Orleans to Lakefront Airport here in a Cessna CJ4. So I'll go through the whole process just because I think it's kind of fun to see the whole setup process of how things work and how, you input a flight plan and everything, because a lot of people don't really know how to do that. So first things first, let's get our Chrome window over here. And if I was set up properly, we wouldn't have to do this. Okay, so let's go to simbrief.com. Cool. Alright, so we will do dispatch system, create new flight. We have no airplane number. I always do this just because it's just a type. We are going from KSGR to KNW in a Cessna C25 CJ4. Okay. So, let's see what our runways look like before we do anything. So, let's search up the airports. There we go, lakefront. Let's go to our maps. Let's go to our taxis. We can just view the airport map. So, we want to come in 18 right, which is this right here. I think that's what we want to come into. I don't know if we're going to get that just because, sometimes the winds aren't lining up for you. But as far as departures go from Sugarland, let's see if we can just pull up an airport chart here. We want to take off runway 17, it looks like, which is right. So that's all right. That's in there. This is all good. Here's our points. We're going to fly through, and this is more or less what the route will look like. Up kind of down the coast. It's going to be a really pretty flight. Yeah, so let's save that flight, close it, generate it, boom, get that in there. So there's a lot of things that go into this process. The first thing you got to do is go to SimBrief and type in your airports. It'll generate you an automatic flight plan. That's more or less what you'd want to do anyway. Unless there's a big storm you want to route around, you won't really need to mess with the points you're going for. Second step is to go to the SimBrief downloader. And right here, it's got our flight already in it. So we'll hit export. I export it to my file where I keep all my sim data in. So then we come over to Volanta here. We'll add a flight plan. We'll import this file. And let's see, it was going this one. Save route. So there you can kind of see it pop up on our Volanta, which is just like, this is what a lot of people use for VATSIM to talk to other pilots, and I just kind of use it as a map because I'm not at that point in simming yet. But we'll go back to Navigraph, which is the third program we're going to use. And Navigraph is what lets you plan approaches. It has all these crazy dots and lines and circles. It's really complicated to look at, but for the most part, you don't need to worry about anything except for what it tells you to worry about. So we'll go to flight. We'll do a new flight. We'll do it from our file because I can't get SimBrief to work. So it is this one. So there it goes, plots it out for us. So we'll kind of come up this way, and so these are alternate points, I'm pretty sure. These are alternate routes we can take. Yep, so it has us take off runway 17. Let's go through this point. These are runways, these are routes, points, transfers. So this is a transfer from one, it's like a highway, right? So you go from one lane to another lane and hook up at your different point. And then you fly in, and your approach will be, we were going to go ILS runway 18 right. So there's kind of what our approach will look like. It doesn't reflect here as much in our Volanta program, but it will reflect here unless the computer will, and we won't plug our approach into the computer on the game until we're given the clearance by the tower to actually take that designated approach. But this is usually what we're going to take, fly out over the lake and go south. Never flown to New Orleans before, but that just seems right to do that way. Cool. So that's all hooked up, ready to go. We'll pull up our charts so we can get our taxi information going. So we'll pop on over to the main screen here, and we'll load our flight into Flight Simulator. So we'll go to More, Load Save down here at the bottom. We'll load up our flight plan. It'll load for a second, and it'll generate all those points that we just looked at in our other screen. That are, it's down here, but it's also up in Flight Simulator. And you can see it doesn't have an approach picked for us. We can pick that approach right now. We want to go ILS 18 right, which is the one that we looked at earlier, so that's just going right in. I don't know what all this craziness is right now. It's being funky, isn't it? It's being real funky. I wonder if this is goofing up. There's no way it would have us fly all the way here, back, and then over, right? That doesn't make any sense. So you can kind of click along the points. Yeah, it does. So it wants us to fly here. I wonder if I can take that out. And then here, and then here. So that's just interesting. It had us go from here twice. Then it would fly us all the way out here and then back. So I wonder if that's a glitch from Navigraph. Or, I mean, see, like, it's not popping up when we do it that way. This is our usual routing. So when we get into the game, I might pop down into, let's see, so we are flight level 410. Here you can't see that. So this is what SimBrief spits out. We're flight level 410. You can see that right here, 410 or 41,000 feet. So this is just kind of all our information for the flight. So when we pop in there, if it gives us this junk where we got to go fly back and forth, I will just, I don't know. I guess I'll just type that out and get it out of there because I don't really know. Let's see here. Hold on. Let's see. View. Docs. Stats. There we go. Okay, so we will just deal with this when we get to it, but for now, we can go to the fly button here, I'm pretty sure. Pull this back up so we can see. Yeah, it's routing us this way through this Audad to Voodoo right here. Right here. It's routing us here, but for some reason, the game and Navigraph both say, hey, I know you've flown this direction, but what if we flew almost all the way back to Houston and then flew back to where you just were for almost no reason? Oh, crap. I forgot to put us on the runway. Or not put us on the runway. That's unfortunate. I did not make us taxi or anything. Let me just go back to the main menu. Maybe we can sort this out while we're doing that. Because we don't want to do this. Let's see what we don't want to do. Okay, yeah. So it's not having us do any of that up here because it's going from LLA, we go direct to, I think that's supposed to be like crawdad. Then we go direct to voodoo, then we go direct to, interesting, hold on. Crawdad 1. See, now it is having us go backwards. Not making any sense because we're already here. So if I delete that, what does that do for us? Nothing. Okay. Alright, well, let's get back into the sim. Let's set it up right this time so that we're not starting at the runway, so I actually have time to fiddle with the options. There, it pulls it up. I think it's because I added our approach in. It didn't like that. So what I'm going to do is just leave that alone. We'll get an approach as we fly closer anyway. Let's set our departure from ramp 3. So we're going to be right here. Oh, there it is. It goofed it again. For once I changed something, it messed it all up. It's interesting. Well, might as well add this in while we're here. Let's see, departure. So we can look at departures here. So here's, let's see, there's the Waco Point, Bluebell. Cows, Sunday. So Sunday we're here. So we need to take it'll give us a departure once we get into the game. We might just be departing direct, honestly. Otherwise we would be departing south, and then it's just a mess. Okay, let's fly. We're at the gate this time. I always forget to do the gate thing. That always trips me up. So let's hop on over to Navigraph again. Get out of this. Okay. See, now it's gone. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, let's get booted up. Oh, come on, ETC. There we go. Okay, first things first, get rid of the stupid yoke because I can't see around it. Let's go battery to there. Displays avionics to dispatch. And let's see, is our parking brake on? Yes, it is. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there it is. Okay, let's start up the right engine. While we're doing that, we will talk to, let's see, Sugarland clearance. Press IFR clearance. Turn the battery on. There we go. Okay, we are just biffing all of the things here, but we are going to be climbing to 11,000. So let's go ahead and set that. So we've got 11,000 here. Let's just get rid of that. Oil pressures are still low, but while we're doing that, should have done that before we started our pushback. Let's get our pushback going here. Knowledge clearance. So let's go this way. Wrong way. I always do that. Alright, stop pushback. Get that out of there. Make sure all our lights are on. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, let's see. I don't know what I biffed here. I usually mess something up when I'm starting this. That's done. That's done. That's done. Okay. Alright, let's get our flaps up to 0. Spoilers to 0. Alright, we're good to go. Let's start taxiing. Come on. How much freaking engine do you need? There you go. Always do that. Oh. My flight stick is not attached to my desk. That's a problem. When I go to take off and rip the whole freaking thing off my desk. Very prepared stream today. You know exactly what we're doing. Okay. Oh my gosh, truck. Get off the taxiway. What are you doing? What was that? What do you think he was? Nice and short taxi today. Kind of like that. Helps everything. Let's get some audio going. I don't know why. There we go. It was a little quiet. That's better. Okay. Alright, let's hold. Ooh, nice. Just came in for a landing. Nice and stormy in Houston today. It's been stormy in Texas recently. It's kind of nice. We have had a lot of that. Okay, let's park it up. Let's do tower 11865. Request takeoff clearance.
Sugarland Tower Cowboy 564 ready for IFR departure runway 17.
Okay, let's make sure our pressure's right. This is something I always mess up. So we're at 3 right now. 300. Okay.
Generic 9er Juliet Bravo, turn next taxiway.
Yeah, there's still a plane on the taxi. Over there. Acknowledge.
Short runway 17 Cowboy 564.
Let's go ahead and get our flaps set. I think everything else is set. I said I was going to mess around with this, and I did not do that. So, yep, that's all right.
Generic 9er Juliet Bravo, turn next taxiway.
This guy's taking forever to get off the taxiway.
Generic 9er Juliet Bravo, contact ground on 121.4. Cowboy 564 tree, altimeter tree 0.00, wind 168 at 24. Cleared for takeoff runway 17.
Acknowledged.
Cleared for takeoff runway 17, Cowboy 564 tree.
Let's
Going
turn
to
off the taxi
121.4
lights.
generic Niner Juliet Bravo.
Yeah, let's just go straight into it. No need to wait around. No sense in sitting around on the runway when we could be taking off. There we go. There's lift. Rotation, I mean. Get the landing gear up. Nice steady climb.
Cowboy 564 tree, contact Houston departure on 12.3.8.
Alright,
Good day.
let's throttle down, turn left, change
123.8,
frequencies
Cowboy
here,
564 tree.
and get our turn going.
Landing gear.
I hit landing gear. Oh, why are you coming out? What are you doing? We are not landing, we are taking off, so I don't understand why it's yelling at me about landing gear.
564 tree is at 1,900 feet, climbing 11,000 feet. Cowboy 564 tree, Houston departure, altimeter tree 0.00, continue as planned.
You shut up. Is it gonna do this the whole frickin' flight? Because I'm gonna lose my mind. Well, actually, let's get our flight director going. Our half bank mode on. Let's get our vertical speed climbing here. We got to get up to 11,000 feet pretty dang quick. And let's get rid of the flaps. Why isn't that working? So let's restart that. There we go. Now we got flight data. Our landing gear warning has stopped, which is nice. Okay, we are off like a rocket, flying through a cloud. It's gonna be a pretty bumpy climb here. I hope our passengers are strapped in. If not, they are going for a ride. Because this is not fun to fly through. Looks like we're coming out of it. There we go. Cool. That's pretty. Yeah, my graphics settings are not the highest when I have to record and stream and play the game and run all these other programs. My computer kind of chugs, so I had to turn down some of the graphics to get better effects.
Contact Houston Center on 133.4. Good day.
Good day. Acknowledge handoff.
133.4 for Cowboy 564 tree. Houston Center Cowboy 564 tree is at 8,600 feet, climbing 11,000 feet. Cowboy 564 tree, Houston Center altimeter 29.999er. Continue as planned.
29er decimal. So we need to decrease our pressure by 1 inch, 1.0 inches, whatever you want to say to it. All right. Can throttle back to about 55-ish. Should be good. We don't want to overspeed, rip the wings off. That could be an interesting flight. Do 60% because we're going over 10,000 feet now. There's no speed restrictions. Yeah, you can already see that 1.7.
Climb and maintain 17,000 feet, Cowboy 564 tree.
17,000. Okay, let's get vertical speed back up. I'll do like 1,500. Climbing our way out of Houston over all these clouds. Hopefully it's not cloudy. I don't know, man. If they're below the cloud layer, I'm not going to be able to see it. It should be like back this way. We'll just say that they're in sight because I can't be bothered. There's that guy. Oh, 10 o'clock, not 4 o'clock. Still, he would have been over this way instead of over here. Alright, yeah, you can already see we're like way off of our... let's see here. You can see we're like pretty far off of our original flight plan here. Just because of our departure, it took us south instead of north. So we're probably going to link up probably with Yoakum or whatever this point is right here, and then continue from there on our pre-planned flight. So we should be good to go. I'll put us in the external view so we're not staring at the screen the whole time. I'm hoping these clouds break up so we can kind of see the coast a little bit. We're going to be pretty high up there, so we won't be bothered by any of the clouds, but they're really low right now. They were at like 3,000 feet and lower than that, so we didn't really get a good view of anything on takeoff. Hopefully it clears up for us here in the next couple minutes. Pretty easy climb so far, no problemo. Let's actually back out on our, let's see here. Look at all that mess it has for us up ahead. Let's see if we can sort this out. Let's see, so we got legs of it. So we're going to LCH next, or LLA, I can't read that on the map, I think it's LCH. And then we'll go to AW Dad, then to Voodoo. So WPIB is
Southwest 649er, you are 4 miles east. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect vectors ILS runway 13 right approach.
let's find that point. Whipib.
Cowboy 5, 6-4 tree climb and maintain flight level 270.
270, got it. Ooh,
Houston Center, United 1025.
this is fun. My mouse won't click on the game.
0,000 feet.
Is this a joke?
United 1025 Houston Center, altimeter tree 0.02 continue as planned. Climb and maintain.
I can acknowledge instructions. I've lost. There it was for like half a second. It's because, oh yeah, it's because I was pressing buttons on the stick. Okay, so we only finally applied the whipib point.
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect vectors ILS runway 13 right approach.
Yeah, so that's right. I don't know what this shit is. Is this?
Exit 778, you are 47 miles east.
I guess I should put that on the screen. Yeah, I don't know what all of this junk right here is. It's not showing up because we'll do Crawdad Voodoo, which is Crawdad Voodoo. Whipib is this point into the descent, right? And if you go next, this is our transfer arrival clearance. It's our approach, and then this is our runway. So it's not listed on our computer anywhere for it to do that. Actually, hold on. It might be so odd. Here it is. So I wonder if we can remove this. We need to remove LFT and add. Okay, let's go back here. This is a conundrum. I don't really know. I haven't ever had to do this. I've never had to like remove points that have been messed up. We might just have to bulldoze through it and see what it gives us. It's a fun mystery that we're faced with, because we'll do... What am I doing here? Oh, we're changing. Three. Let's change our pressure. Oh crap! We need to be doing some vertical speed here because we are not climbing at all. Okay. Let's look it up on Google. Well, looks like it's just a bug with the routing. I want to know why it did that. DCT, add. That's why it has me do that twice. Rough. So because it mentioned it twice in here, it goofed it up on our main flight screen here. That's fine. We'll just have to do it the hard way. Where is our plane? That is not our plane. There we go. So we'll just ignore any changes. Honestly, we're just going to have to ignore ETC. I should have decreased my flight altitude. I don't need to be flying at 41,000 feet. That's way too high for this short of a flight. It should be at like 29. Alright. Well, for now, we will just sit back and relax. Hopefully not fall apart and all that fun stuff. Alright, I'm sure it's not fun to stare at a freaking panel. I need to quit doing that. We're only at 211 knots. Let's throttle up here. We need to be at like 250. It's because we're climbing at 2,000 feet vertical speed, so like there's a lot of shit to go through. A lot of speed to pick up here.
Houston Center, generic November 9er, 00 Lima November, is at 16,100 feet, descending 10,000 feet. Generic November 9er, 00 Lima November, Houston Center, altimeter 30.04, continuous.
I like the CJ4 because it takes a little bit more input than flying the A320, which is what most people fly on this game. I like flying the A320. It's fun to just put everything into the computer and say go and have it do its thing. But it's kind of more fun to actually be in control of your plane a little bit. This flight stick that I have, the Velocity one, it's really meant for flying Cessnas. It's meant for the 172. It's like built for that basically. But it's got this throttle quadrant just in case you want to do what we're doing right now. So the other series that I'm working on right now, I'm filming a couple episodes at a time, is I'm doing a NeoFly series, which is like a plugin. It's a career mode plugin for Microsoft Flight Simulator where you fly missions, either that's cargo or passengers, or there's like a bunch of other missions on there that I don't really mess with. And you get money from those missions and you use that to upgrade your planes, buy, hire pilots, do all that fun stuff. I think Microsoft Flight Simulator, it wasn't a priority, obviously. It didn't sell the game. The game sold fine without it, but it really could have benefited from something that American Truck Simulator has, which is the ability to earn money and have like a career mode, get experience and all that stuff. But there's tons of plugins for it. NeoFly is a good one. There's a couple paid ones. There's one that's it's always online, so you can actually interact with other people that are playing. You can have an airline together. There's a bunch that you can do. There's a lot of ways you can make a game out of Microsoft Flight Simulator without paying, which NeoFly is probably my favorite one. But we're doing a we're doing a rags to riches kind of thing where we're going to start off with the Cessna 172, which is of course the smallest plane you can really fly that's not a glider. And we're going to earn our way all the way up to flying 747. That is the goal, is to get from Cessna to 747. And an added bonus is that flying a Cessna, you're flying at like 3,000, 6,000 feet maybe instead of 41,000 feet. So you're actually going to get a good view of kind of everything we're flying over right now. Like, this would be really cool to fly over in a Cessna because you'd be really low to the ground. You could see the scenery, all the work that, you know, the engine does to make everything look really pretty and cool, which it does already. It looks great, but it's kind of cool when you can appreciate the lower model objects on the ground. So I'm wondering if we should go to this LCW point and ride. Let's do that. We'll go up here and we'll, because this is the back leg, and then we would go forward into the crawdad point again. Pretty sure. Yeah, so we'll just do, it's this LFT point that screwed everything up. If that wasn't in the flight plan, it wouldn't have had us fly all of, it was LFT and LCW that we shouldn't have had in the flight plan. We should have taken those out somehow. I need to learn how to program this thing. I know the basics of how to do it. I've just never done it on, you know, I've never really done it before flying. I've just kind of sat around and messed with it. But if I can learn how to program that and we're not relying on the janky import from SimBrief, that would be awesome. But yeah, the 747 or the Cessna to 747, we're starting off. I kind of want to figure. I think we're starting off. I started off in Dallas, but I want to move the plane down to, like, kind of go down the coast, go to New Mexico, and then all the way down to South America, and kind of do 2 series in one, where we fly all the way from South America up to Canada, like from the, you know, the southernmost point on South America to the top of Canada, and then while we're doing that, we'll have, you know, our Rags to Riches series going, and then once we upgrade to something like a CJ4, we'll start doing like kind of the normal flights you would do, and an A320 we'll have at one point, and we'll fly that around, kind of doing like more passenger liner stuff. I got a passenger plug-in that I'm looking at buying. It's like $30. I think it's called PAX, and it kind of simulates the boarding process and gives you a grade based on how you flew. So that'll be really fun to watch me try and land without destroying the wheels and sending everyone into the ground. But that's, you know, that's later. That's going to be a long series. I don't know if I'll stream every single flight, just because the progress in that game is kind of slow, which is good. It's supposed to be like that. You know, you're not supposed to fly 3 flights with a Cessna and get a 747 or an A320. Like, they're really expensive, and you only get like, you know, 20,000 a flight, even if you fly max range on a Cessna 172. So the further you fly, the more load you carry, that kind of stuff. You get different rewards, and then you can upgrade your plane. So that'll be fun. I know there won't be a ton of people watching it right off the bat, but the goal is to do it consistently, and hopefully people will catch on and start watching, because that would be fun. Do we have a viewer in our chat? If you want to say hi, I see one viewer. Brickyarder. Yeah, we are way off of what Volanta said we would be doing. We're so far north of where our points were. I really wonder why it did that. I think it's just because we didn't custom input stuff. So, oh well. Live and learn. We'll do it next time. We'll figure it out. I kind of like this view screen, just for flying, because the whole, you can see the whole map rather than in the little corner. You can kind of tell what's going on. Yeah, we are real slow here. We gotta level out, get some speed. If they request me to go up to 41,000, I'm just gonna say no, because we're like kind of getting close to starting our descent. I don't really feel like, ooh, turbulence. I don't feel like flying all the way up and then all the way back down. It just sounds like a pain to me. Okay, so we are coming up to the LFT point from LS or LCW. It's a good view too, though. Ugh. There might be storms over New Orleans. It doesn't look like this cloud cover is going to break up at any point. It looks pretty much like a blanket over the whole atmosphere here. So, I guess we'll see what happens. Alright, there we go, 220 knots. Because we leveled off. Oh, we are not at 370 because we didn't have our barometric pressure correct. No!
Climb and maintain flight level 410, Cowboy 564 tree.
We go down.
Center, Cowboy 564 tree. Request flight level 370. Cowboy 564 tree climb and maintain flight level 370.
There we go. Now we're not going into the stratosphere just to fly an hour, 30, 40-minute flight, whatever this is. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Oh, shush. I'm the one who told you that's what I wanted to do.
Climb and maintain flight level 370, Cowboy 564 tree.
You dumb computer.
Cowboy 564 tree contact Houston Center on 126.35. Good day.
I'm gonna figure out where my radio is.
Houston Center Southwest 1358 is at flight level 300.
So I'd like to be able to do this manually. It's probably up here, right?
Southwest 135, 8 Houston Center, continue as planned. 126 decibel 35 for Cowboy 564 tree.
Usually you've got a little panel right here that has your radio and your switch in it. So you can switch back and forth between your different comms. I wonder if it's in the... No, it wouldn't be in there. So brightness... Oh, we're overspeeding. I knew that was going to happen. I knew that would happen. I don't know. We're still learning. We're still figuring it out. Usually you're... On a Cessna, your controls are at the top there. This is a Cessna, but it's just a different type. It's probably... Oh, here it is. Yeah. This is all the comm stuff. Nav volume. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Alright, let's turn and get into this pattern over here. I can see a break in the clouds up here. I don't know if that's going to be... I think that might be the... Alright, let's go to Houston Center. I was supposed to do that a while ago. Yep, that's our point.
Southwest 1426 traffic is 4 o'clock 1 mile at flight level 400 generic. Report them in sight. Cowboy 5, 643 descent and maintain flight level 250.
250.
Southwest 1426 traffic in sight.
Descend and
See,
maintain flight.
we could have gone. We could have spent a whole time going up to 41,000 feet. Not even probably gotten there, and then immediately decrease down to 35 or to 25. Instead, we're ahead of the game. Now look at all these freaking junk waypoints that we have to deal with on our map. What a nightmare. Start back a little bit here because we're dropping. I threw a little bit of weather. Yeah, the game tries to do a good job of doing live weather. I think X-Plane 11 is better at it. I don't know. I usually try and avoid weather just because I'm trying to learn how to fly these planes and not deal with a maelstrom while I'm doing it.
Generic 66 kilo, you are 43 miles northwest. Descend and
You can
maintain
see
10,000 feet. Expect ILS runway
our
4 approach.
arrival points. Now we are coming into Crawdad, then to Voodoo, and over here. So we're coming in. We're getting close. We can actually use this time to pull up our approach. So we think we're getting this ILS 18 approach. So we can display this chart. So this is pretty busy. The only things you really need to worry about are your points, which is going in, Whipib to Bogley to Itos, I think is this what this is going to be. And it tells you the heights. So we need to be at 1700 when we get to this point, which is up here somewhere. So we'll hit 1700 feet. We'll continue at 1700 feet while slowing down because we need to be about probably like about 140 knots by the time we start descending, and by the time we hit the ground we should be at 70 knots is what it says. I think that's how you read that. I don't know, I'm probably wrong. But this has all your information of like, okay, here's how you vector into your point. And then if you do have a missed approach, you have to go this way. And then here's your holding pattern off to the right here. So you'll keep doing a circle until you get clearance again, and then you'll come back and try it once again. So that's pretty much it, and this is, let's see, this is just the ILS 17, I think that's what it's called, ILS 18 right approach for runway 18 right, which is what we are expecting. Now, they could probably tell us something completely different by the time we get there, because that's usually what they do, depending on the wind. And if that does happen, we'll just have to go into our little MFD here. We'll go to departures and arrivals, and we'll have to change our arrival plan here. You can input, so right now we're ILS 18 right, and we can just change that route if we need to. It's pretty easy. And the computer kind of does everything for you. Not that it will do it for you, but it will tell you where to go without having to guess. It's probably much easier on a Cessna because the map is easier to look at. This is kind of difficult. I don't really like this map. The G1000 map on a Cessna is like probably one of my favorite maps to look at, just because it's got all the information you need right there. It doesn't really goof as much as this one does, apparently. We are going to be landing into, hopefully not something like Houston was, but it's probably going to be some pretty thick soup coming into this, because I don't see any break in the cloud cover ahead, despite there being some over here. That's probably the ocean. We're looking like landing somewhere up here. Turned off waypoints just because it looks better. So yeah, we are still expecting that approach. Here you can kind of see the graphs. Put this up. Approach 18 right, ILS approach. Yeah, so that's pulled up. We should be dropping a little bit more than this. I think we're supposed to be at 2.5, right? Yeah, 250. So as soon as we start leveling off here, I bet you they're going to tell us to hit the deck again and drop more. So we'll probably have to almost cut the engines at that point, because we're still going really fast despite dropping speed, or dropping altitude gives you speed, so. Whew, I gotta go turn the heat on my house. It's freaking cold in here.
Houston Center, American 1429er is passing flight level 3.
Oh, this stupid state I live in. It was 80 degrees yesterday in Texas. Now it's going into the 50s because it's supposed to freaking sleet tomorrow or tonight. Yep, see, soon as I get to my flight level, they have me drop. Oh, well, it's actually taking over our descent for us. Kind of nice. Alright, there's that voodoo waypoint. So like I showed, we've got to be at 1700 by the time we hit this whip-ib right here. Which I guess you can't see that. We got to be at 1700 when we hit this. Before we hit that. So we need to kind of start dropping. Oops. Maintain 3000. Yep, here we go. They gave us the red approach. We gotta start going this way. Oh wow, this wants to go all the way down. Got it.
Descend and maintain 1,000
Can do.
Expect vectors ILS runway 18 right approach Cowboy 564 tree.
Alright, let's get this guy going. So we gotta really drop our speed now because we are supposed to be like 160 knots by the time we get to this point. It doesn't look like it's going to be super cloudy. It just might be a little cloudy. We might not be sunshine like we thought it would be. But that's fine. Alright, we are at 21,000 feet, dropping to 1.7. So, 1,700. So, it's going to be a far drop for us. Going to be quite the ride downwards. Let's make sure our lights are on.
Cowboy 564 tree contact Houston Center on 127.0. Good day. 127.0 for Cowboy 564 tree.
Alright, let's get some new
Houston Center Cowboy 564 tree
pressure
passing
here.
flight level 200 descending 1,700 feet. Cowboy 564 tree
Yes, we're
Houston
still
Center
at
continuous
2992. So, yep, so there's, let's see, so this lake to the left is the smaller one. There's a bigger lake right here that we just can't see. This is the lake we're kind of landing over. We're going to do a loop and come in this way, according to our approach. As you can see, we're kind of going to start. We're going to loop out to the left, to the north here. It's a big bridge that goes across this lake. It's kind of crazy. I wonder if we can spot it as we descend here. Another plane down there. That looked like it for a second. Alright, here we go. So we need to drop almost 1,000 feet in the next few miles before we hit this point. Which it looks like we will. Might give myself some flaps here. Just to decrease our speed a little bit more, help us drop.
Houston Center commuter 4232 is passing flight level 300 descending 10,000 feet. Commuter 4232 Houston Center continuous plan.
Landing
Buddy, shut up. Is there a way I can, like, turn off the warnings?
Cowboy 564 contact Houston Center on 126.875. Good day.
Nope.
Going to 126.875.
I could not turn off the landing gear warning. I'm sorry. I don't know how to do that.
Houston Center Cowboy 5643 is at 13,600 feet, descending 1,700 feet. Cowboy 5643 Houston Center altimeter tray 0.14 continuous planned.
4, huh?
Generic
Yeah.
0 Bravo Romeo contact.
We will set that.
127.65.
Landing.
Good day.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Going to 127.65. Generic 0 Bravo Romeo.
Nav volume.
Cowboy 5643, you are 18 miles north of Lakefront. Maintain present heading and altitude. Contact Lakefront Tower on 118.9 or 5. Maintain present heading and altitude. Tower on 118.9 or 5. Cowboy 5643. Lakefront Tower Cowboy 5643, 17 miles north inbound ILS runway 18 right approach.
Alright.
ILS runway
Wind is
18
only
right approach.
1.
Cowboy 5643.
4. That's actually not
Lakefront
bad.
Tower Cowboy 5643, 17 miles north inbound ILS runway.
Now I'll
18
pop
right
the
approach.
landing gear. The frickin' computer. Now that we're actually coming into land. So we are still way... God damn, dude. They did not give me
5643, please acknowledge.
any time to drop my speed. Or
Clear
my...
to land runway 18 right Cowboy 5643. Lakefront Tower Cowboy 5643, 17 miles north inbound ILS runway 18 right approach.
They did not give me any time to drop my altitude.
Generic 7 Hotel Delta.
Need you
wind
dropping.
171
Caution,
Caution, the Cessna C25C landing runway 18 right. Cleared to land runway 18 left. Cleared to land runway 18 left generic 7 Hotel Delta.
We've still got some time to get down before we have to really enter the pattern here. You can just see that thing is freaking dropping. My poor passenger's ears are probably exploding right now. My bad. Gotta get down though. Gotta get down so we can land. Right through a cloud. $4,800 feet. We're getting there. We're not, you know, we just passed the first waypoint, so. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. It's pretty cool looking. The problem is going to be finding the actual runway here. The only thing I play with on the UI is our landing path, and we should be getting that pretty soon. It's probably going to tell me I'm going way too fast, because I am. Gotta level off our speed at about 160 here. That's the goal. Once we pass this, let's see, what is our... There it is. Okay, so now we don't really have to worry about this.
Hotel Delta exit runway when able. Generic 7 Hotel Delta contact ground on 121.7.
Let's get some height on the situation so I can actually freaking see. The only thing I don't like about this is that the default the default view is just you cannot see anything. Okay, yeah, we got it. Going a little quick here. Alright, let's disengage autopilot. Let's turn on our landing lights. Bring her in nice and steady. Look at that. Good old great glide path going right now. Not too quick. About 130 knots. So we're still a little quick. Flap down, flap up just a little bit. So we don't want to stall, but we don't want to overshoot the runway either. So we have power down just a tad. I get it, we're going pretty fast. I think we're still at like 130 knots, so let's go full flaps. There we go. That's dropping our speed just a little too much though. Speed up a little bit. Speed up a little bit. Throttle, I mean. Throttle down. We're good to go. Too red, too white. That's what we want to see. Just a little off center here. As soon as we hit the ground, I'm going to hit the speed brakes. Should be good to go. Just a little bumpy coming in. Yeah, this flight stick's a little sticky still. That's just because I mean, I've had it, been playing for about 20 hours with it, so they said that it should go away after about 25 hours. We should be good. We're coming in a little high here. Let's throttle down. Throttle down. Don't hit the water. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Throttle cut. Speed brakes on. Perfect. Oh, we bounced. Oh, that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad.
Cowboy 5643, turn next taxiway.
Could have been worse. Ooh, are we gonna make that? Hell yeah.
Cowboy 5643, contact ground on 121.7.
Nice. I always forget that you don't have to land at the smack dab beginning of the runway. I always end up doing that.
Going to 121.7.
And I'm always like taking the first runway turn off, which it's like whatever. 1217. So let's do that. Taxi to parking.
Front ground, Cowboy 5643, taxi to parking.
I'd say that was pretty successful.
643 taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway.
See, we hit the ground pretty damn hard though. We were at
Taxiing to general aviation parking using
I think that was
taxiway
this
Delta
last
to go
one,
Cowboy
1.3 Gs, which is kind of crazy. There's another plane. We hit the ground pretty damn hard, but we got down. Everything right up until the very end was perfect. I just didn't. I flared a little too much, and then I do that every time. I flared, kind of came back up, and then I panic and I dive, and you slam your wheels down. Just need to trust the plane to descend on its own. Alright. There's some fun artifacting going on up there. The one thing I do need to get is some pedals, because right now I'm having to control the yaw, like the rudder with the triggers and the brakes with the fingers, which is really nice if I didn't also have to mess with the throttle while I'm landing. So now I can't rudder right while turning the speed brakes on, which kind of sucks, but oh well. I'm getting some pedals soon. They're only about $150, so I'll probably get those within the next month. It's a long taxi we got here. General aviation parking is all the way at the end. Oh well, it's been fun. It's been a hectic stop. Truck. Yeah, you kind of slowed down. It's been a hectic first stream. We had pretty rough landing. We had some weird weather. We had some seriously messed up navigation points. But we got through it. Should probably turn on my taxi lights because we were taxiing. Yeah, that makes sense, wouldn't it? All the way down the runway. This is probably the part of the video people are going to skip. But I guess before we park up here, I just want to say thanks for watching. If you did watch this, I'll try and do some regular uploads. Keep the series of Cessna 747 going, and while I'm doing that, I'll probably just upload random flights because I don't like to fly the Cessna every time. It gets a little boring to only go 130 knots. It's kind of fun to go about 250. And you can also go a little further and do some better stuff with the computer, so I will keep those going and keep the Twitch stream going. I might start streaming on YouTube. I had to verify that today that I could do that, and I think that might be the better platform for this, just because I don't really see a need to stream on Twitch and then upload the video from Twitch to YouTube. That takes a while. But I've never streamed on YouTube, so I don't know how it'll go. I'm sure they have an okay platform. I heard they're trying to gear up to take on Twitch officially with their streaming stuff, their live stuff. Because right now it's just kind of people that either got kicked off of Twitch or have huge YouTube channels already and they don't feel like streaming over there. So, it could be kind of a good market to get into for the beginning of it. Let's get some speed going, images. That is a very close parking spot. Yeah, in that first episode of that Cessna 747, we had to land around a building in Dallas. It was a regional airport, so it's just a generic airport, and one of the buildings was modeled too tall, and it was also modeled right in front of the runway, about 50 feet away from it. So that was fun. We had to dodge a literal building while we landed. And brake on, engine off. All right, well, thank you for watching the first episode. This was a lot of fun. It was kind of relaxing to just, right now I'm talking to myself, but it would be really fun if, what does this say? Flight ending soon, complete. Cool. Review flight. Yeah, we can see some statistics actually before we go. We can see how hard I hit the ground. Landing force 0.9 G. It's not good. We landed at 66 knots. That was good. That we were basically stalling onto the runway, which is what you're supposed to do. We just landed real hard because I pushed it back down. That's what counted. Only took us about an hour to get through that, which was good. So, all right, cool. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see y'all later.